As you might have guessed, I'm not in Starbucks.
Actually, I couldn't really be further from Starbucks. I'm in Caffè Italia, in Little Italy and within the area of La Petite-Patrie. This is an old school Italian cafe. And I mean old school. It's been around since 1956.
This place has been run by the same family for 4 generations. First by Leia and Bruno, and then by their daughter, Luciana. Luciana met her husband while working in the cafe, and then passed it on to their daughters, Laura and Nadia, whose children now work the bar. I sat down for a coffee with Nadia, and she was quick to correct me when I asked about her title.
When we put your name and your title up on screen, should I say that you're the owner of Caffè Italia? What's your...
No, I'm Luciana's daughter.
Yeah, that's good. So your coffee.
Yes.
Tell me about your coffee.
We have, it's a blend that my grandfather perfected over the years. Essentially, we're true blue to the basics, espresso, caffè latte, and cappuccino. But over the years, people have asked for skim milk, which we're sort of not agreeing with.
Oh my God.
You want a good coffee, it's gotta be full fat.
Yep.
The recipe is made in an old candy tin.
Candy tin?
Yes. There's no measuring, there's no weighing, it's made in an old candy tin.
And how long have you been doing it that way?
Always. Always. Bring me a candy tin. Bring me the coffee bin.
Yeah, can we see it?
I'll show you. And if we lose these tins,
we're done for.
We're done. The recipe is out the window.
So you use these candy tins to measure out your beans?
Yes.
And make your coffee blend?
And then we put them in the cement mixer.
No.
Yeah, yes, look.
Can we put it on the table?
So this is Caffè Italia recipe.
This is where the magic happens.
This is everywhere.
This is the secret.
Yeah. I'm sincere when I say,
it?
look, yeah. Look, I mean,
oh, look
coffee,
at that. I can smell it. Oh my God. It's a precious artifact
so
of Caffè
everything,
Italia.
yeah, we can't lose these.
So this bean combination is like a secret recipe. It's the Caffè Italia. Okay.
This is Caffè Italia's secret.
Caffè Italia has a distinctive look. And that look is, well, it's unique. But this is a choice. It's not trying to be pretty. When you've been around for over 60 years, you have nothing left to prove.
You can tell this place started in the 50s. You look around and, to be honest, it looks kind of 50s.
Yeah.
Is that a deliberate choice?
This is who we are. This is who we've always been. And there's so much history in the place, and we try to keep the history of the place. And I think the decor has a lot to do. We did some little changes, but mainly we kept true to who Caffè Italia was, which is a cafe born in 1956. So stainless steel and red and shiny stuff doesn't work.
Yeah.
I mean, they come here for the family, they come here for the coffee, and I think part of it is for the look of the place, the feel of the place, and it's very warm, although it's not pretty. It's home to a lot of people. We did a renovation in 2012, I think. We could have gone modern, but that's not the essence of what Caffè Italia is.
So when you did your renovation, you had to deliberately find old-looking stuff?
Old-looking stuff,
wow.
Yeah. Which essentially is all new, but old-looking. So we tried to recreate, although we shelled it, we tried to recreate what it was, put back the old paintings, put back the old pictures, and kept it what it is.
No, non ho cambiato niente.
Le piace questo fatto?
Beh, io vengo qui perché ho tanti amici che vengono qui, no?
Lei è cliente abituale di questo posto?
Sì, vengo molto spesso, vengo perché mi piace molto il caffè e vengo perché mi piace l'ambiente, il fatto che è un posto di famiglia, sono donne che lo portano davanti, allora vengo per tutte queste ragioni e in più il caffè è ottimo.
Io vengo qui per dimenticare forse il lavoro o qualcos'altro, no? E se uno come me che segue il calcio italiano, qui prima del Covid si poteva guardare le partite, no?
E le piace il fatto che sia una famiglia sola?
Sì, mi piace molto, lo so che quando vengo i baristi più giovani adesso sono i figli e i nipoti delle origini, allora è tanto bello vedere, delle volte sono 3 generazioni che lavorano insieme.
Esatto.
Well, it's interesting to see, especially that I see a lot of different generations. Like we have the men that have been coming here since this place pretty much opened. It's like you see the difference in the generations. Like they end up asking me how to use their phones and how to fix their Facebook and stuff like that. It is really special, especially to know that it's lasted so long. A lot of places don't last like this. And it's cool to know that I'm the 4th generation. Hopefully there'll be a 5th generation too. It'll be around that long, you know.
Talking to Nadia and her family gives you the sense that there's a lot more to this cafe than meets the eye. While it may not be particularly glamorous, it is a neighbourhood institution and a community hub. Regulars have been coming here for decades. They're even on the walls. And they've always found the same place and the same family, even as the city around them has gone through waves of change. In fact, this cafe is part of a tradition. It holds history. Not just family history, but the city's history too. The Pointe-à-Calière Museum is looking into the role of the cafe in the life of Montreal's Italian diaspora in its exhibition Italian Montreal. I had to go and speak to Samuel Moreau, who's in charge of the exhibition, to hear what he had to say.
The exhibition is called Italian Montreal, so it's about the history of Italian immigration in Montreal. It's also about the social and cultural aspect of this community, and what we wanted to show with this exhibit is how this community was important in building Montreal as we know today. We decided to do an exhibit on this subject because it's one of the most important cultural community in Montreal, one of the oldest, and for sure the biggest one. So in the last census, 280,000 Montrealers declared Italian roots. Some things we considered to be really typical of Montreal, of Quebec society, they were brought here by the Italian community. So the cafe is not only a place where you go drink your espresso, it's also a place of meeting, of community. So mostly after the Second World War, that's where the community gathered to exchange ideas, to talk Italian. So it was really important to keep this sense of community. It's also a place where we talk about sports because some cafes are centered around sports. You go there to listen, to watch your match of your favorite team. And the cafe is also the place where you exchange ideas and you confront ideas. Some cafes were politically centered, somewhere to the left, to the right, so you will exchange ideas. So it's also where we talk about everything that happens socially in the community. When we think about what happened with Second World War, and after that, all the social movements of the 60s and 70s, women's rights, unionism. So that's where we talk about those themes because cafes were important in exchanging those ideas to work on those social movements that were so important in the history of Montreal and of Quebec in general. That's why some cafes are so important. They are going on for generations now, maybe second, third generation now, but they are rooted in the community. So some of them are iconic. We see them maybe more as touristic. We go there and they are iconic in Montreal, but it's not only that. They were really important in the development of the community and the social movements in Montreal.
People say, why don't you open up another one? And yes, we could open up. I keep saying I, but I mean, it's the family. We could open up another cafe. But that cafe would not have the history. There's only one Caffè Italia, and it's in here. With these walls, these floors, I can't bring this anywhere else. Even if I were to bring it next door, it's still not where it all happened. It wouldn't be where mom and dad met, you know? So it's like That's why there's only one.